Namaste Sannyasa family and everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you in this daily live meditation session with me, Dhyanse. We're going through 112 meditation techniques of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. You are here not because of me. You are here not to gather any knowledge. You're not here for some tips and tricks of meditation. You're here because of this space, in this moment, in this space. You're here because of the space that brings you back every day. Wherever you are in this world, whether you're joining from United Kingdoms at 6 in the morning, or in Germany, Switzerland at 7 in the morning, or on the East Coast of US at 10 p.m., or the West Coast at 1 a.m. in the morning. What brings you back every time that you connect to this is the space that we have created over the last 2 months of our journey in Tantra. In these sessions over the last 2 months, this space that is there in these sessions, this is consecrated with the vibration of Tantra. And whatever you're going through, whatever changes that you're experiencing in your life, with your health, with your well-being, with things changing in your life, with transformation happening in your life, is not because of me or the sessions or the little meditation that you do, is because of this Tantra vibration that is consecrated in this space. So tune into this space, no matter whether you're listening live or you're listening at some other point. This space is alive. This space is what matters. Nothing else matters in these sessions. Not me, not these words, not the tips and tricks and few techniques here and there on meditation. What matters is this space. If a scientist would hear that, he would say, what the hell are you talking about? What is in a space? A space is between four walls. What is a space? Everything is in this space. Everything in this non-physical form, encapsulated in this space, this energy, this intelligence, this wisdom, this transformative power that once you connect into and bring this to your life, it changes everything. And the proof point is there in your own life. If over these 2 months of the journey, nothing has changed for you, it has not brought anything to your life, then you better find something else. Then you better find another entertainment or another source. This does not bring anything to you unless you feel the proof point in your own life that over this journey in the past 2 months, coming in contact with this vibration, with this space, is becoming the transformation for you. And we have to understand that this space is not an ordinary space. This space is consecrated with the vibration of Tantra. Tantra does not live in books. Tantra does not live in scriptures. Tantra does not live in imagery. Tantra does not live in any kind of sculptures. It lives in the space. All these meditation techniques, these 112 meditation techniques, these scriptures, these imageries, these sculptures, all are there so that you can create this space. Someone needs to create this space. This space must be created using all those tools. Unless this space is created, is made alive, Tantra is not alive. The vibration is not alive. And no matter how much you read, about Tantra, no matter how much you go into Tantra, into its words, into its intellectual exercises, it will never bring you what it is made for. So this space, become aware of this space in this very moment, wherever you are, in whichever time you are, whether you are tuning in here or later. See that in every culture, in every tradition, there was a way to capture a space, a sacred space, a consecrated space, an energized space in some or the other form, in which when you come in contact with, everything changes. Like the temples, like the churches, like the mosques. These are examples of consecrated spaces which carry a certain vibration, which carry a certain energized vibration, is consciously or unconsciously created there, so that when you come in contact with that, suddenly everything changes. Your mind changes, your emotion changes, your internal energy changes. If you are busy, caught up in your daily life and doing whatever, and you move into the temple, you move into the church, you move into the mosque, that's where you suddenly feel a space, an expansion, an energy which otherwise was not there in your life. And that is why all these setups, all these engineerings were done, so that that space can hold that energy for you. Of course, now all this religion and tradition has its connotations, has its agendas and this and that. So to go somewhere may not be the most meaningful thing to do. What you can do is to create that space within you, to create that consecrated, sacred space within you, decentralized in each human being, carrying that space, carrying that energized space for which you don't have to go on any pilgrimage. Only you have to turn within. You have to turn inwards and let this inner space be ignited, this inner space be filled with that vibration of Tantra, with that energy which keeps you alive, which keeps you remain always connected to this alive vibration, to this wisdom, to this intelligence, to this energy that takes you through life without any miseries, that keeps you in life in peace, in love, in connection to your true self. So if there is one message out of these 112 techniques, that message, that vibration is to take this vibration of the space and ignite the vibration of your inner space. Allow this penetration of this space in your inner space. Let it consecrate your inner space. Let it make this inner space of yours so sacred that no matter what you're going through in life, no matter what is happening in the outside world, when you turn inwards, the moment you turn inwards in your inner space, everything once again changes. Everything once again becomes sane, becomes how it is supposed to be within your thought, within your emotion, within your energies. And that sacred space is the effort of this journey of Tantra that we have been doing over the last 2 months, halfway somewhere there, another 2 months to go through. I salute your commitment to this space, to this journey of participating in this journey all throughout this time, experiencing this vibration of Tantra, absorbing, taking this vibration of Tantra in your inner space. As we go along this journey, lots of also curiosity arises out of Tantra. Out of this curiosity in our sannyasa family, someone posted a video which is about depicting about a curation of a Tantra journey in one of the British museums. It is an interesting consolidation. It is an interesting narration of the Tantra journey and all those scriptures, all those sculptures, images that once belonged to that sacred space are now there in the British Museum. My few comments on that is that, first of all, that narration of that Tantra is not done by a Tantric, is not done in the aliveness of Tantra. As an example, Tantra is timeless in that documentary, in that video. What is being said is Tantra was originated in the 6th or the 7th century. No, Tantra is timeless. This vibration is as old as eternity. It was always there, it is always there, and it will always be there. It is timeless. We may in history point out to a time where we started recognizing it, where we started to start our history. What is history? If you see, history is just a story. It is a story that we tell ourselves of the past. It never contains the facts, because you can never reproduce a fact from the past. You can only reproduce interpretations. And those interpretations are conveniences, as we like it, as it is written by the winners, as it is appealing to the logic, as it is appealing to the dots that we have and we connect them. So please, when you come across the knowledge of Tantra, the information about Tantra, please remember that Tantra is thousands of years old. It is as old as eternity, as old as life. So there is no beginning, there is no end. That's number one. Second aspect which I found that needs clarification is that throughout this narration, there were points in this narration where the female figure is portrayed as superior to the male figure. When the Bhairavi is in its form, in its supreme form, is taking the head, a male head in her hand, and there is a male in front of her which is kneeling down, bowing down. Those points are used in the narration as inflections, as sudden releases, so that it appeals to this suppression that has been there in the society of the female. But please understand that Tantra has nothing to do with male or female. Tantra has to do with masculine and feminine energies, the Shiva and the Shakti, and none of them is superior or inferior. But in the narration, in the misinterpretation of Tantra, it can be misunderstood that suddenly the female is superior than the male, or the male is superior than the female, because the story, the narration is set up as a love story between Bhairava and Bhairavi. It is a role play between a male and a female. It does not mean that male is superior than female. Therefore, the counter of it, suddenly when that narration comes, all those who have felt that suppression, even that writer of that script, that narrator of that script, must have gone through in one's life some sort of male suppression by the father figure, by the teacher, by some kind of male suppression or the female suppression. Therefore, there is this urge to narrate the female superiority, the representation of the female superior than the male. Tantra has nothing to do with superiority or inferiority. It has nothing to do with male or female. Both masculine and feminine have their own place. There is absolutely no comparison. And both male and female have the masculine and the feminine. But please remember the nature of these energies, masculine and the feminine. The masculine penetrates the feminine. Unless the masculine contains the potency of penetration, no synergy happens. Unless the feminine contains the receptivity, the invitation of that penetration, the openness of that penetration, no knowledge happens, no synergy happens. So both are needed, both the Shiva and the Shakti. It is not that the Shakti is suppressing the Shiva in one of the imageries in those documentaries, or the Shiva is suppressing the Shakti. Both Shiva and Shakti, they are having their own place. Both are gods and goddesses in their own nature. But the magic of Tantra, the vibration of Tantra happens when these two come together. When there is this fusion, when there is this penetration of the masculine into the feminine, of the conscious into the unconscious. And the moment I say that, you may immediately relate the masculine, feminine to the conscious and the unconscious. Once again, these are two different dimensions, the masculine penetrating the feminine and the conscious penetrating the unconscious. These are completely two different dimensions. There is no superiority, there is no inferiority. Much more can be said, but let us move on to the technique for meditation today, for our silence, to maintain this space of intelligence, wisdom, energy, expansion for us. Bhairava says, place the tongue upwards to the center of the palate and fix the awareness in the middle. Mentally repeat Ha to dissolve in peace and enter. Let me repeat and take 30 seconds, 60 seconds to explain this wonderful technique before we sit in silence and practice this on our own. Place the tongue upwards to the center of the palate. Who would have thought that even tongue could be used as a meditation technique? But here we are in Tantra. Every aspect of life, every aspect of the body, every aspect of the mind is utilized to convert this into a meditative energy, into a direction towards silence and awareness. Place the tongue upwards to the center of the palate. When you do that, when you take your tongue and gently place it at the center of the palate, what happens is, and fix the awareness in the middle, what happens is suddenly your mind stops, your thoughts come to a standstill. Because you're thinking in a language, your mind is constantly thinking and thinking in a particular language. If you bring your tongue and let it rest at the top of your palate and bring your awareness in this middle of the tongue, in this space, few things happen. One of the things that happen is that because of this physical stillness of the tongue, the language takes a pause. The mental conversation, the inner conversation that you have also takes a pause. And for a moment, there is a pause in the thought, in the mind, in this inner chatter that we all have. Then the second part of the technique, mentally repeat Ha to dissolve in peace and enter. When you exhale, when you repeat, when you make this sound Ha with your breath, that is a release, that is a catharsis, that liberates all the suppression that you have in you, suppression of thought, suppression of emotion, suppression of energies. So these two components are put together in the technique for today. How to do that? You will take your tongue and put it restful at the top of your palate. You will not force anything. Do it as it is comfortable for you. And so that would be the step number 1. Step number 2, bringing your awareness to the middle of this space that is created in when you touch your tongue to the top of your palate, to the middle of your palate. That would be the second step. And the third step is mentally, in your mind, you will repeat this ha with every breath. You will not make the sound, you will not exaggerate this, you will only mentally keep this sound, this expression of ha in you, and let your mind, let yourself dissolve in that peace. When all this happens, you are once again opening the doors to your inner space, and then you enter. Let us take the next 15 minutes to 20 minutes to enter this inner space using this technique of tongue placed at the center of the palate. Please close your eyes. Take a posture. With your body relaxed. With your body in balance, not leaning forwards or backwards, or sideways, or upwards or downwards. Giving yourself a moment for the body to find its center. And bringing your awareness to your tongue. Taking your tongue, placing it in the middle of your upper palate. As far as it is comfortable for you, without stressing yourself. Resting the tip of your tongue at your palate. You may widen your mouth. Keeping your lips closed. And your awareness in the space in your mouth. With your tongue rolled at the upper palate. Allowing your tongue to rest. Your awareness to settle And with every breath, with every exhalation, mentally repeat the sound of Ha. Tongue rested at your palate, awareness in that space, and mentally repeating Ha with every breath. And lower your tongue back to its restful place. The awareness in your inner space. Repeating mentally the sound of Ha with every breath. your awareness in your inner space. And with this repetition of the sound of Ha, let all the suppressed thoughts, emotions, energies leave your space. And let go of all repetition, all effort. Simply sit in silence, in awareness of this inner space, in the vibration of Tantra. No more movement. Stillness, silence, and awareness. Feeling the energy, the vibrations, the aliveness in this inner space. Creating a remembrance of this sacred inner space as you move in your life. And very gently and slowly, you may open your eyes, maintaining the sacred inner space, the consecration of that inner space with the vibration of Tantra, with aliveness, with intelligence, with wisdom, with energy and awareness. If you wish to live this Tantra vibration more deeply in your life, you may want to share your experiences, your journey with other meditators. If that's the case, you're more than welcome to join our community of meditators, our sannyasa family, where we share this vibration, where we keep this vibration alive so that we can live in love, in truth, in connection, in wisdom. If you feel the calling for that, please write me an email with your introduction, with your interest in the community, and what would you like to give back to the community. Thank you very much. Namaste.